So this is the 2020 Hyundai Accent. Rented this from Avis through Hotwire. I've already done reviews on both Avis and Hotwire on my channel. They were done like towards the end of August, the beginning of September on this channel, so you can look for those two reviews if you're interested. But anyways, yeah, so rented this car for 3 days for $86 total, including taxes and everything and all the additional charges. $86, 3 day car rental from Avis Rent-A-Car, unlimited kilometers. So anyways, I'm pretty happy with this car. I don't really have any complaints about it. It's like, you can see it's a subcompact car. So it's amongst the smallest cars that Avis will rent, and one of the smallest cars on the Canadian roads. It handles pretty well. Like, I've been doing mostly highway driving with it. Have no problem accelerating, getting up to 100 kilometers an hour, like merging with traffic. It also handles pretty well as well too, holds the road okay. Now, if there is a good cross, the other night when I was driving it down to Mississauga, I noticed that there was a bit of a crosswind, and you could feel it in a car, but I guess that's to be expected in a car this size. So there's your dashboard display. Has the usual things like, Bluetooth. Tells you how many kilometers you have left on a tank of gas and all that. The comfort and the seating space is pretty comfortable for a car this size. It's I'm 6'1", 185 centimeters, and I'm pretty comfortable in this car. I can put the seat well back. And yeah. In terms of comfort, it's decent. The handling is okay. It's what you'd expect from a car this size. Like, yeah, it's not going to handle... You got to remember, with a Hyundai Accent, which starts somewhere in the neighborhood of $13,000 to $15,000 here in Canada, I think. You got to remember, it's a small car. It's a cheap car. It's not going to handle the same way that, say, a Porsche would handle, or Mercedes-Benz, but it handles decently, though. I really have no complaints with the handling. Like, obviously, you can't go cornering or doing anything crazy with it. Like, yeah, if you take it drifting or take a corner too hard, you're going to remember that you're driving a subcompact car. Gas mileage is okay. Like, I've put on... I think when I started out, when I got this car at first, I'm pretty sure it said I had something like about somewhere around a neighborhood of 560 kilometers, 550 to 560 kilometers in a tank. And it's got about a 40 or 45 liter gas tank. And I'm down at half right now. And I've got 272 kilometers of gas left in this tank. You've got all the usual adjustments with the steering wheel. You can move it up and down. You can move it further away from you. You can move it closer to you or further away and all that. Like, it's basically equipped the way you'd expect to find a car this size equipped. Like, it is a decently equipped car. The stereo's not bad. Sure, it's not it's not gonna blow. It's not gonna blow the roof off the car. It's nothing extremely powerful, but it's decent enough for a factory stereo. And as I say, I don't really have any complaints with this car. Actually, I rented a 2019 Hyundai Accent before. About the only difference that I've noticed so far between the 2019 and the 2020 Hyundai Accent is, if I remember correctly, this dashboard has a little bit more detail in it than the 2019 Hyundai Accent had. If I remember correctly, the 2019 Hyundai Accent, it didn't tell you how many kilometers you have left in a tank of gas. It didn't tell you how many kilometers you were averaging, like what your fuel economy was. Like on this, I'm averaging 5.9 kilometers, or sorry, 5.9 liters per 100 kilometers. So I don't remember the 2019 having those kind of details, but apart from that, they're pretty much the same thing. The climate control system is fine. I mean, the heater in this car is quite sufficient. No complaints about that. And it's got a decent amount of space. You know, you can put down the seat. It's got a decent amount of space in it as well, too. Like, yeah, really, there's no complaints about it. It's got, I've found at least two, what do you call those ports? USB ports. And it's got at least, I think it's also got two auxiliary ports as well, too. So the USB, of course, to plug in to charge up your phone, your laptop, your tablet, whatever. So, I mean, if you're looking for a low-budget car, subcompact, that's going to be good on gas, and that's not going to cost too much money as compared to other cars on the road, I would say a Hyundai Accent's definitely worth giving a try. The same that if you're looking for a nice, cheap car to rent that's going to be good on gas and that's going to be cheap to rent, then I'd say go for a Hyundai Accent. As a matter of fact, I owned Hyundai Accents a long time ago. I've owned a 2000 Hyundai Accent, a 2002 Hyundai Accent, 2003 Hyundai Accent. The 2003 Hyundai Accent I had no problems with. The 2000 Hyundai Accent, I had to replace the water pump on that one, but thankfully that was still under warranty, so it didn't cost me any money to replace the water pump. It was just an inconvenience, though. The 2002 Hyundai Accent, I had to replace both the water pump as well as the timing belt, and I had to replace a component of the windshield wipers as well, too, because the cable that takes the power from the wiper motor to the windshield wipers, it snapped somehow. Like, I guess with that particular car was just cheaply made. I believe it was a nylon cable that carries the power from the wiper motor to the windshield wipers. I had to replace that, which kind of pissed me off, because I think it was just a bit of ice and snow that I got stuck on the wipers that weighed it down a little bit too much, and that caused that to become detached, which I thought was kind of ridiculous. And the only reason why I replaced the timing belt, I honestly don't know whether or not the timing belt needed replacing, but in those particular cars, like back in 2002 Hyundai Accent, if you replace the timing belt, then it's a good idea to replace the water pump at the same time, and vice versa. If you have to replace the water pump, it's also a good idea to replace the timing belt at the same time. So, though, having said that, though, those cars were pretty decent. And I would think now, with the 2020 Hyundai Accent, that they've probably improved upon it. And it's probably an even better car than it was back in the early 2000s. So, on a scale of 1 star to 5 stars, yeah, I guess I'd give this Accent, I guess I'd give it about 4 to 4.5 stars. Like, yeah, I can't really complain about this car for the size of it. It is a car I would recommend. And stay tuned to this channel. I'm going to be doing more reviews on more cars. Like, whenever I rent a car, I'm going to be doing a review on it. Whenever I rent a car that I've never rented before. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to be doing some car reviews on various other cars that I've owned in the past and various cars that I've driven as well too. Like, one of the car reviews I'm going to be doing very soon, I'm going to be doing some reviews on Lexus SUVs, such as the Lexus RX 300, the Lexus RX 330, and the Lexus RX 350. I'm going to be doing reviews on those because my parents, they've owned those cars before, and I've driven them. So I'm going to be doing some reviews on those. So stay tuned to this channel for more car reviews.